It's so hot. I'm going to put my shirt on over the top of it. Oh shit, we're live. Okay, I don't know how long we've been live.
Do not ask why. Ask not what the reason why.
I definitely. What the hell happened there? I absolutely had not clicked it on either platform yet. But anyway, I think it was after we were talking about wearing shirts, but no, it was before then. But after we were talking about nutsacks as a measure of temperature. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is Geek Battle, and on tonight's show, I don't even really know what we're going to talk about. It's too hot. The World Cup has been on. I don't know what I've been paying attention to that's particularly geeky. I do know I read today that Emmy Awards. This is how much of a slow news week it was for me, where I was scrambling. I was like, oh, they're announcing Emmy Award nominations, and the thing that caught my attention is David Attenborough has been nominated for an Emmy Award at age 100 years old. So I think that's pretty cool. So all we need as well is Mel Brooks.
Is that insulting or cool when you get invited for just being in the industry for so long and you're not dead? So here you go.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool, right? Look, we're at the point where Mel Brooks, David Attenborough, and Dick Van Dyke are all 100. They need to have a sitcom altogether, basically. Wouldn't that be the best thing in the world ever?
What would you call the show?
What would you call the show? Okay, now, look.
Cancel.
This season of Only Murders in the Building.
Okay, so you've got Dick Van Dyke. Oh, we can come up with something by the end of the show. I'm going to ask AI to generate something. It's too hot to actually think. But if these are the three components.
I'm pretty sure the show will kick off because the first thing Mel Brooks would do is say the non-PC things as he thinks is possible, and he's old anyway, so he wouldn't care at all, and the show would be cancelled in 2 seasons.
Men of the Century.
Yeah.
Call it the Great
it should be Centurions, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Centurions.
Centurions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get AI to generate some of this.
We need a Selena Gomez adjacent character as well, like Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
But who would that be?
Oh, I don't know. I've never watched that show.
Me.
Oh, it's pretty good. I've seen the first season.
I think I watched the first episode and I was like, I need to sit down and watch this when I'm paying attention, and that was 3 years ago. So it will happen at some point.
I saw season 1 and 2. I didn't like 2 a lot, so after that I got bored, so I didn't continue it.
Okay.
I saw Martin Short and Steve Martin live, and it was like a variety show, and like it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it made me really respect and enjoy Steve Martin's work a lot more. I didn't really pay attention.
His best film, in my opinion, is Bowfinger, one he did with not Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother, and also Eddie Murphy. That was
no. What was you mean, not Eddie Murphy's brother? Of course, it's Eddie Murphy.
No, it's Eddie Murphy and also Eddie Murphy's brother.
Charlie Murphy?
No, wait.
Yeah.
Are you saying that it's got actual
Charlie
Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy's?
Charlie Murphy.
Who does he play?
That was Eddie Murphy's. Charlie. He looks like Eddie Murphy.
No.
I mean,
Eddie Murphy played both parts in that, like he does in Nutty Professor, like he did in Trading Places. The main guy in that is not Charlie Murphy.
You know what? Let me check.
Shit, this might ruin my entire life. There is no way that you're saying that this whole thing was Charlie Murphy. That was Eddie Murphy playing both characters.
Yep, Charlie Murphy was not in the 1999 comedy film Bowfinger.
Yeah, in both roles. It wouldn't surprise me if he was in
AI is telling me. Yes, Charlie Murphy played his brother. What?
No. Look,
okay,
oh my
this
god,
is
I need to
pulled
watch this
from
film.
Wikipedia.
Eddie Murphy is Kit Ramsey / Jiff Ramsey. I tell you what though, Charlie Murphy, I watched.
Wow.
Oh my god, I watched something. I think it was from Chappelle's show, a sketch that he was in.
Yeah,
it was really good. And it's like, why didn't
cocaine is a hell of a drug. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I don't think it was that one, but it was another one. But anyway, yeah, it's like, how come this guy kind of didn't get massive roles and stuff as well?
Because he got into the industry by Eddie, and he kind of basically did some off like background stuff until he did that big thing where he did with Dave Chappelle. But Eddie Murphy always liked him because like he's the one who told Eddie Murphy to start doing comedy. Otherwise, Eddie Murphy wouldn't even thought about doing stand-up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Okay, guys, let's do the intros since we.
I don't see Charlie Murphy on the IMDb filmography of Bowfinger.
Oh god. Right. Now, Dave, say hello to the people.
Oh, me. Hello, everybody. My name is Dave MC from Paris, France, but currently in the Yellow Duck Tavern. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and have some fun this evening. And if I can make Tim laugh at least once tonight, free drinks on everybody. But my geek fact of the day is... Hang on, let me get my notes. Yes. So in The Lord of the Rings, when Sam and Frodo return to the Shire, and Sam marries Rosie, he has 13 kids with Rosie, and they're all named. Most of them are named after the flowers that Sam saw on his journey from the Shire to Mordor, except for one of his sons that he named Frodo.
Oh,
He had more kids than my grandfather.
Right. Well,
Out of
anyway.
curiosity, Cap, I need to know how many kids did your grandfather have?
10.
10.
Yeah.
That's like 3 more than the Von Trapps.
Do you know? Wait. You know what though? Like, my dad was one of 14 children, and my grandmother on the other side, I think, was one of 13. So you know, it happens.
My grandfather technically lived during when the British still had power over Sri Lanka, and he technically studied under the British system. And I think he was alive during World War II as well. Yeah.
You think your grandfather was alive during World War II?
We
How
have his
young
picture.
are
I think
you?
He was born. I'm not old, but my mom is old.
Okay.
Has he been lying to us this whole
Most
time?
likely he wasn't alive during World War II.
Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, Tim, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Do we do geek facts?
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've been on. Yes. The writer for Widow's Bay was also a writer for Parks and Rec.
I saw Widow's Bay recently.
Yeah.
Did it's awesome.
It's right off of the Widow's Bay takes place right off of the coast of either Maine or Massachusetts, which is the area that I live in. But it's filmed mostly in Massachusetts. So I've spent time in those areas, and it's always fun when it like a popular TV show is filmed in that area that you live in. I'm sure you guys have the same sort of experience.
Okay.
I'll shut my phone off.
Oh, okay. That was fine. I was wondering where that was coming from. Okay,
Yeah.
this is massively disappointing. This cannot generate at all what any of these people look like. I'm very disappointed. I will do better. This is the best it's come up with. Well, you can't see it, but it doesn't look like them at all. Doesn't look.
I love
like
how we all
them.
collectively just sort of went into the camera just so we
Yeah.
could have a look at it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like them. Boring.
No, they got David Attenborough completely wrong.
They haven't got any of them. Like, okay, so I did it on my phone because I was like, on the computer it was rubbish. But it's I'll bring it up. This is slightly better. But yeah, it's still kind of rubbish. I like the 3 legends, 1 empire, 0 discipline. I like that tagline.
I think Mel Brooks did History of the World too. I think as a series. I did not like that. I saw first episode and I didn't like it, but I love the old movie History of the World.
Yeah, that's
What's
one
with the
which I
pizza
think I've
in it?
seen so long ago. I really don't remember it at all.
It's okay. The first scene opens with Moses coming with the tablets. I have 15 commandments, and then one falls off. 10 commandments.
I like it. Okay, Cap, have we done your intro?
No. we
Okay,
have
go
not.
for it, Cap.
Yeah, that was his key fact.
Well, I forget.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and tank tops. It's me, Capital Dave. And my geek fact that I learned when I was doing the podcast that in the film Lord of the Rings, Boromir's brother Faramir has been done like this fallible character who's also kind of interested in the ring and things like that, which was not the case at all in the books. In the books, he was a completely virtuous character who is like uncorruptible and very goody two shoes, and that was not the case in the movies for some reasons. I don't know why. They hate him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Sorry?
Yeah, they did. They made Faramir a righteous person.
No, he is at the end kind of turns righteous when he helps Frodo escape, but even that is kind of iffy. When he tried to get Frodo's ring again, he was also, even Frodo says, "Oh, there's a man in here. He wants the ring. I know it. In his heart this lies evil." He is done in a morally dubious way, while in the books he was just completely infallible.
I don't remember.
Yes.
So good. Anyway,
Okay. One point of that. So when he mentioned the character Faramir when I had the podcast with, I mistook him for Boromir. Like I literally did the meme of as a steward of Gondor going, Boromir would have been better. I literally did the meme because I actually forgot who Faramir was and mistook him for Boromir. So yeah, I'm as bad as the steward of Gondor.
Okay, well, Dev, are you still with us, or have you evaporated? He's evaporated.
I'm here when I'm having camera issues. Hold on.
Okay.
It was voice issues last week in camera this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right.
But well, anyway, let's see what's going on in the world. This week there's a couple of big releases I haven't seen either yet. There is the live action remake of Moana out, but according to the reviews, it's at it's like the lowest rated live action Disney reviews thus far, which is a real shame because how can you mess this up? Like literally. This film came out, the original only came out 10 years ago. All they need to do is the same. It's the same actor playing The Rock.
That's also pointless, David. That's all. Like, they didn't even. I mean, like The Lion King, they kind of did the same, but in a very lame way. The point is that the movie's so recent. What the heck are you gonna do with this movie? Are you gonna totally change the story? We'll probably hate people who hate it, but if you don't change the story, people will be like, "I could have just watched the cartoon. I just saw it yesterday. Why would I want to see a live action of this?"
Okay, well, actually, that brings up a really good point. I saw a video a day or two ago about the fact that in, I think, 1998, they remade the movie Psycho, shot for shot the same. Are you guys aware of that? The shot for shot remake of Psycho.
Was that the one with the Wedding Crashers guy?
Vince Vaughn, I think's the guy in it.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. So,
Didn't see it.
well, it is shot for shot. Like the framing of everything is the same. The script is nearly identical, and when I say nearly identical, it's still credited to the same writer. It is just the same script, but it has a few minor changes in it along the way, but like microscopic changes along the way. And apparently it was done as an experimental thing, saying, because like this is what was said on the video, but when you think about it, someone stages Macbeth on stage and then someone else stages it, and it's like, well, why don't you do the same thing with movies? Why don't you just remake a movie, do it the same way, right? What was the sign language there for, Dave?
You exercising evil spirits. One must never mention the name of the Scottish play.
Only if you're in a theatre.
Anyone that gets that reference gets a cookie.
Oh, okay. I don't. Okay.
Macbeth.
Is this a Monty Python thing?
You're close.
Okay. What is it then? What is it?
It's Blackadder the Third.
Oh, okay. Fine. Well, anyway, we're safe because we're not at a theatre. But anyway, so yeah, so they refilmed Psycho with using the same framing, using the same script, using the same score, everything, and it got really bad reviews. And it's like, well, how did something which is just the same movie that does all of the same things as the classic then end up not working?
I know why.
There's no point to it.
Yeah, but
say
you never saw the original, or say you see Macbeth on stage, it's like, well, someone staged this 400 years ago. What's the point in it?
I I think if they got introduced to Psycho, like if they don't know Psycho and they seen it, they probably are the ones who are not writing the reviews. So they would be probably younger, or they don't even know how to write reviews in the 90s probably. So if it was like the older generation are gonna go, yeah, why the fuck am I gonna see this again? I already saw it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this is the deal then with Moana. Yeah, okay, so go on, Dev. What was the reason they did this?
Okay, so this happens a lot in Japanese, like anime and stuff. They literally shot for short remake or like remaster the footage or whatever. The audience that existed when it originally came out and liked it no longer exists. So this new audience doesn't like the thing because it's not what they want. The new audience wants something else, which is annoyingly true. And annoyingly enough, this is the reason the Amazon Stargate series got cancelled, because it was too similar to the old one.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, if you make something which is a carbon copy of something, now I guess that what you say about a newer audience, it does make things different, because when you look at something specifically as Psycho, when Psycho came out, it was kind of the very first slasher movie. By the time they remade it 25, 30 years later, you had now had Halloween and Friday the 13th and Chucky and all this stuff. So when you just go back and do the things that the original did, there is nothing that is nail-biting or shocking about it anymore. Which I think is, even when it comes to sequels, especially when you look at something like Saw, every sequel tries to outgore the last one, because they're like, oh, we need to go bigger than before. But does that mean that when you go back and watch the original Psycho, it's suddenly now a bad film? Or does it mean that the new Moana is a bad film, or the old Moana is suddenly a bad film just because it does the same thing as what already exists?
Well,
like
when you're doing
it brings up a weird thing in like media and like cinema in general, like cinema and media in general, where you can remake something, but there's only a 20-year window. You only remake something 20 years after the fact of the original, because the kids that grew up watching the original are now adults, and like the nostalgia of feeling a kid again. Like that's the way they could sell a like short for short remake. Other than that, like any longer than that, it becomes like nobody that liked the original exists anymore. Like they don't.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that was the problem with the He-Man movie.
Yeah, He-Man.
Is that they were 10 years. This is what I was saying a few weeks ago. 10 years ago, when they started making Cobra Kai and they brought back Ghostbusters and a bunch of these things, it was everyone that grew up in the 80s were like, okay, now I'm an executive, I'm bringing back Ghostbusters, and they've done He-Man 10 years too late. So everyone who like grew up with it, they're now just a little bit too old to take their kids to it, because their kids are probably like, I'm just playing Roblox.
I think also He-Man had a bad rep, because like before this movie came out, what was Kevin James's He-Man cartoon show, and that was big. When the trailer dropped, everyone's like, oh shit, He-Man's coming back, and everyone was excited for it. But then the show turned out to be shit, and then He-Man hype really died afterwards, because like no one really tuned in for the other season, which actually gets better, really. That's the funniest thing.
I don't even know if I was
Batman and Joker rematch in that show, because it was like Skeletor versus someone voiced by
Tim.
I got a question for anyone who might have been following Moana a little bit more. Is there any like extra? Is there any other kinds of media that has come out in the 10 years between the animated and the live action that has sort of kept the Moana interest alive?
Only one sequel to Moana.
Yeah, so
and it was particularly bad.
There has been Moana too, right?
The sequel was supposed to be a TV show. They were supposed to do it as a TV show, but they thought, oh no, we'll make it as a movie. It said that's why the second movie did so badly, because it felt like a load of episodes from a TV show slammed together as like one massive movie. Nothing.
They had an ensemble
gelled
cast
together.
of quirky characters who were meant to have their own journeys as the season went on,
Because-
but because they were crammed into a movie, everyone's like, "Who the heck are these guys? Why do I have to care about these bunch
What's
of colorful
odd is-
characters?"
If they did that, that would have been that would have been them following the Disney formula of movie, TV show, movie, TV show. What they do with Aladdin and Hercules and stuff.
See, and
And,
that
like,
do you
Lilo
know
and
what
Stitch.
though? I think that is something where they have really, really changed how things work. Because you think Aladdin came out, and then there was like a Saturday morning TV show which kept the hype for it in people's minds and stuff like this. Now they'll release like we've spoke about a lot with the Marvel movies, and then we've got to have a TV series that will be 4 episodes long, starring the movie actors, and cost $40 million to produce. It's like the Aladdin cartoons. You could put out 20 of them a year, and they cost like $1 million the lot. Right, and so it kept it alive without it being all movie quality. And if you didn't see the weekly Aladdin show, it didn't mean anything by the time the Aladdin straight to DVD cartoon came out. Go on, Cap. Cap, look, just because you're doing this doesn't mean you get to jump the queue. Dave had his hands up for ages.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with that in that, because with the way they did Return of Jafar, that was the lead into the Aladdin TV series. But it's like Disney did a thing where they would do like, I think Dev said it, where it was like a TV film and then TV, in that the film that they made was a lead up to the TV show. Because Aladdin says, "I want to see the world." Then it's a TV show. Then we get the Hercules movie. Then he gets his little TV show. But the thing is, like,
Also Tarzan.
And harken back a little bit in that when you were saying about He-Man and such, in that with He-Man, it's different from something like Disney in that you can have like general knowledge of He-Man, but you don't need to have watched anything prior to understand, this is this character and this is this character, that sort of thing. You can jump in and instantly know, this is this character, this is Skeletor, this is He-Man, this is whoever the fucking tiger is. But Disney's full-on problem is that they're trying to cash in on characters that aren't going to make them a lot of money. They're like using when Moana came out, as I said, it made a lot of money. Frozen made a lot of money, so it warrants a sequel.
Yeah.
But it's just that they made this just because they could, not because they should. Harkening to a Jurassic Park line there. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Which, interestingly, is my entire view on the second Jurassic Park movie. But go on, Cap.
So, for the Avengers, funnily enough, they did have a cartoon show. So what happened was, stop doing that. So what happened was, Avengers cartoons were actually going, which was more beloved. But then the movie started coming out, so they stopped that cartoon and they started doing another cartoon. And that cartoon was dog shit, actually, compared to the first thing that they did. But it kept going. It kept going with like the Ultimate Spider-Man verse, and they had like a bunch of seasons. Again, most of them are not very good. But I think that time also kind of a different weird like cartoon shows in general were going as it went, because streaming was becoming a thing, TV was going low, and then YouTube became a really big thing. Funnily enough, with like, I think He-Man's biggest problem was if that Kevin Smith show didn't exist, I think this movie would have really done well. But also, I think He-Man also came out in a very weird time where people have actually given up on seeing the new things getting revived because they already made up their mind this is going to be shit. Because we've seen it happen over and over and over and over again. So we're like, I don't care anymore. I have the whole old He-Man series on YouTube. I can go watch that. Why do I need to go watch the new thing? It's probably going to suck. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I do agree.
I think
Dev.
perception of mine.
No, go on. Sorry, Dev.
So, I'm going
Dev,
to
then
touch
Tim.
on the Avengers thing. But first of all, I want to address the He-Man thing. Basically, He-Man has been trying to be revived every 10 years since 1984. In 1994, we had Son of He-Man or New He-Man, where
Dev, you've gone really quiet for me. I can barely hear you, Dev.
We had pants wearing He-Man. That's where I first saw He-Man that David doesn't like.
That was 2003. But let me get to it. I'm building up to that. So there was the Son of He-Man or New He-Man where he was in space in the 90s. In the 2000s, we had the parents wearing He-Man that Cat keeps talking about. And in the we had the She-Ra Princess of Power series going on the side. And in 2023, we had 2 He-Man shows come out at the same time. One was CGI and not by Kevin Smith. And that was more like a Power Rangers vibe, where people would they would all morph, including the villains, all had another form. And the Kevin Smith one needed to exist so the movie could be made. People say it's bad because the focus was on Teela rather than the He-Man, who was sidelined for ages.
Yeah, they killed him in episode 1.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, it gets good in season 2 and 3, which is the weird thing.
It's not so weird because they were like, "Shit, we really cocked up. We better try to improve this."
Yeah.
And that's
but
the
nobody
problem.
cared but me.
And nobody cared but me. But yeah, but that's what happens. This is where a lot of these franchises fail. Is that something will come out, it'll make a ton of money, and they're like, we're making 3 sequels. But what they don't realize is that the quality or the story drives the fans away, so they don't come back for that next one. They need to. And this is an interesting thing. I saw this quote from Tom Holland recently, saying that when he was working on the Odyssey, which is out in a week or whatever it is, he contacted the people at Marvel, being like, we need to do what Christopher Nolan is doing. He knows what the whole film is going to be before he started making it. Imagine that.
Yeah,
gee, what a wonderful new idea, kid. We didn't really think of that before.
No, they didn't. The whole point is Marvel, they'll film and then they'll plan a month of reshoots once because they'll work out the script day to day.
I think Anthony Mackie was really complaining about Captain America, is that nobody knew what the heck we're doing and we're just filming stuff, and he was really pissed off.
Didn't that somewhat happen during the the writers' strike though?
Yeah.
So
I think so. Yeah.
So the problem is
out, right?
the amazing thing in years to come, if this stuff ever leaks out, because technically it's lost media. So how there is Batgirl. Or Batwoman, whatever it was, which they literally had the film almost finished and they removed it and no one will ever see it. Captain America, Brave New World, they'd got an almost completely different film, which they were like, this isn't going to go well. Let's refilm. And that's where they were just filming stuff. And it's what is the plot of this anymore? And then it came out as an almost completely different movie. And this is, I'll think of them, but there's 2 or 3 other examples I'll be able to bring to mind where they have almost completely gone back and remade the film. Even there's something that came out this week about Supergirl, is apparently they did tests, and basically there is the cut that we got, and there is the director's cut. And the director's cut didn't score quite as well.
Another Snyder cut.
Exactly. And so and the Snyder cut, so the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, these are other things. Where it's there's this version of Supergirl, which is apparently longer, apparently has more fleshed out story and stuff like this, and isn't so James Gunn in his mold. So apparently in the edit, they were like, oh, we don't like the look of this. And then James Gunn, in charge of it, ordered another 11 days of shooting, and it became a James Gunn movie. But anyway, Tim.
I think right there is a perfect example of how much financiers have to trust the storytellers.
Yeah.
And how much financiers have to ask, okay, what is the future for this story? How can we make money off of it in that future? And in an example like Moana, maybe just a low-cost animation they put on Disney for little kids to watch while the parents are cooking dinner or something, like to continue that sense of interest and to feed that interest with good stories or manageable ones, consumable ones. But again, it's trusting the storytellers and
I think
seeing having their vision of what that story is.
In that case,
I was reading.
I have to.
Oh, hang on.
Can I finish one more thing? I was listening to a podcast with Amy Poehler called Good Hang, and Matt Damon was on it doing press for The Odyssey. And one of the conversations that they brought up was, and if an actor doesn't know what the movie is going to be shown like, then the actor can't give that perspective of what the movie is. Like, if you're going to provide a product or some sort of entertainment and expression, you have to have an understanding what the director is already, what that story is going to look like. Excuse my burping. But I think it's important for that storytelling to be backed up so that that storyteller can tell the producers of that story what it's going to look like.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Dev.
So, like part 2, what I was going to say was going to cover the Avengers and the animated Marvel universe, which is insane because, again, the first show that came out, I kept talking about, was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which was basically the creators said it's the MCU if they had the rights to everyone. That is what the basis of the series was. So it was totally interconnected. They were doing stories that the movies couldn't do. They were doing it in animated form. So it was like an interconnected series, and it was doing really, really well until the MCU said, "Stop outshining us," and one commissioned a new cartoon called Avengers Assembled, which then led to its own universe of like 3 different cartoons that all crossed over: Ultimate Spider-Man, Hulk 8 Sons of Smash, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers Assembled. We're all together in one universe, and the cartoons were like crossing over for the first time in like ages. Yeah. It was like several series were crossing over, which had not been done in like years, ever since like the Cartoon Network Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Wow.
I can't remember which one is which though. Like I can't remember which one is the brighter colors and which one's the
Thor looked more like comic Thor in the good show,
yeah.
And
so
the
cartoony one is the one where everyone looks somewhat real.
Yeah.
And the slick MCU looking one is the other one.
Yeah, it's a shit one.
That's that.
And this is probably kind of
I liked it.
There's some episodes good, but overall it was just
the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah,
was meant to be cancelled because the actor himself, who played Spider-Man, was cancelled in real life for allegations, etc., etc. Except the show was doing so well, merchandise-wise, they kept it going for like 10 seasons. It got to the point where they ran out of storylines from the comics, and they invented new stuff. Like they were adapting comic storylines that happened a month ago in the comics. That's how much like they had to make in material, because Spider-Verse is going on in the comics, and they were having a Spider-Verse storyline in the show. So
Spider-Verse happened years ago.
Yeah, so was the show. The show was years ago as well.
No, I mean the Spider-Verse comic happened way before they did stuff in the Ultimate Spider-Man show. They'd already done it because that was tied into the Superior Spider-Man comic book tie-in.
Was that where the Wolf Spider and stuff came from, or
no? Well, I don't know where
Malice.
I think Wolf Spider is an original character, by the show. I think he is. For someone fact check me on that one. But I know that the Spider-Verse thing, the whole thing with the Web Warriors, was way after they did the Spider-Verse story, because it was after. I think it was like a few years after they did the whole Superior Spider-Man run.
Yeah, because it was the Superior Spider-Man, then the like Mary Jane, the Queen of Symbiotes, or whatever.
Yeah.
Thing they did near the end.
For me, the funniest thing is I can't really hate on Ultimate Spider-Man because I really like Spectacular Spider-Man, and then that ended, and then Ultimate Spider-Man came out, and I kind of hated it for that. But some of the episodes were really funny. I can't help but hate it. Like, I love the Deadpool and the Spider-Man episode. I love the Moon Knight episode. Oh my god, that's gold.
The funny thing about Spectacular Spider-Man is Josh Keaton has now voiced Spider-Man in like 5 different universes. He's voiced him in DC. He's voiced him in Invincible.
Yep.
And Spectacular.
Yeah.
To earlier point that what Tim said about like carrying a successful franchise, something that we don't really notice, but has actually more than any Disney properties have actually carried it even to Japan in a weird way, is actually Lilo and Stitch. Because they kept doing they kept doing sequels. They had a TV show. Japan did an anime. And then when the remake came out, it also made $1 billion.
But okay, the original was long enough ago, so it was still at the tail end of 2D animation getting used properly. We're just now in the basically it's the Disney Plus era. As soon as Disney Plus started, and Disney were like, we need to just rush everything so that we always have a new movie or series on Disney Plus, because you think they did a live action remake of Lady and the Tramp as direct to Disney Plus within its first couple of months.
Terrible.
What was the next one they did? Oh gosh, they did another one that went straight to Disney Plus.
Beauty and the Beast?
No, not Beauty and the Beast.
Peter Pan and Wendy.
No, that one did as well. They did Pinocchio, and there was another one in the middle of this.
Dumbo.
What was the one?
Dumbo.
Oh God, was it Pocahontas? No, not Pocahontas. Mulan. They did Mulan, didn't they? Yeah, and they didn't make it a musical.
But that was during the pandemic, I think. That's why they were like.
But this was. But from that point onwards, you think of the Disney train, where they had all of their talent. And instead of it being, well, this talent's going to make one movie, it's like, well, this talent's going to lead a movie, this talent. We're going to hire in loads of other people to be around them. And it's like, shit, you've got one, you're spreading yourself so thin, and you've upped the release schedule with so many more things. That's where the MCU started falling apart. It's where Star Wars started falling apart. I mean, well, Star Wars started falling apart beforehand.
Started.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Generous. It's like, so you think Star Wars had already fallen apart because they were trying to rush things out. And actually that brings up an interesting thought with something I was about to say. It used to, one of the problems is probably technology. Technology is working against us, because you think of something like Toy Story 5 that just came out, and then if you look at Toy Story 1, and it looks so much better in terms of computer animation and all of this. And so because everything has advanced so much, it now means that everything takes so long to do. And so they're rushing scripts, which is not what you want, so they can start making things, which then take forever to actually come out. And if you look at something like Into the Spider-Verse, talking about like the hype of something staying, the first one of that came out like 7 or 8 years ago. So what kid who was watching like, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Spider-Pig or whatever it was, Spider-Ham, right? Then the second one comes out.
God damn it!
Spider Noir. Look, right. The second one came out, and all of those kids were now like 19 years old at college. By the time the third in the trilogy comes out, no one who was on board with the original will even remotely care.
But I think they will show up, because both of the times the movie is proven to be really good, so people will have that quality to show up.
The second one was not very good.
No, it was good.
It wasn't great. It was all right. It wasn't great.
It was a headache to watch, literally.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the animation.
Like, it was they went so crazy with the graphics. So it's just like, oh my god, like everything was just moving.
I get a headache trying to explain to everybody that Spider-Man 2099 is the only variant in all the Spider-Verse.
The weirdest thing when David said,
He's the future Spider-Man. Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one in the blue and red color scheme, not the.
But Dave, I kind of hate that, because I played one game where you get to play as him, and he was so fun. I hate the fact that they turned him into a bad guy now. I kind of hate that.
He's always been a bad guy.
No, he hasn't.
Wait, yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Like he's more abrasive. He's
he's willing to cross lines. That doesn't make him evil.
He does villain the show all the time.
Yeah, in the game he wasn't evil. He was a funny, jokey guy. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed him actually.
So again, I give the point. He's the only variant in all the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Right. Who else got anything on their minds to discuss? Cap.
Dave, take out your headphones. I'm going to talk about Resident Evil 9.
Oh my God.
You dick! You need to stop. Cap, I'm going to say this here. You need to stop sending me Resident Evil 9 stuff. I'm not looking at it for a reason.
Okay. I finished Resident Evil 9. Okay. I had tons of fun. I really enjoyed it, but there should be a menu option to skip Grace's section. Okay? Because I'm not going to replay this game in Insanity mode. Because I don't want to play Grace's section in Insanity mode. Because I couldn't even get through it in normal hard mode. I'm only here
if I had to sit through and collect emeralds in Sonic Adventure as Knuckles, you have to play as Grace.
Okay. No, I did put her in a skimpy outfit, so that did made it me a little easier. The game in play made it easier.
Hang on. Right, guys, where's Dave? Dave, come back. I'm gonna wait until Dave's back.
He can't hear us.
Okay, I'm gonna wait until Dave's back. Right, okay, Cap, go on.
You're gonna forget it. Anyways,
I'm not.
I really enjoyed playing as Leon, but I have to say it was the least challenging of the Resident Evil games that I played. And that did make me a little bit kind of. I mean, Leon is meant to. They super hyped him up, so he kind of does everything. But it could have been so fixed if they had Resident Evil 4 type of variety of enemies, and they were all swarming at each other from like different ways, and you would have a hard time dealing with them. This one, the zombies are. I think there's only 3 types of zombies basically. There's the normal one, and then the head big one, and then there's Elke. That's pretty much all we got from zombies.
You get the screaming one. The singing one.
Easy, yeah. If the other one, David, the screaming one exists in Resident Evil 6, where it's a havoc to deal with. This one is pretty easy.
It's so different in Resident Evil 6 to 9. I can say that definitively.
Yeah. So the most exciting fun section was the commando section, where Umbrella goons come and try to kill Leon, and you have to suddenly turn into John Wick, which is the most funnest section, which is what I filmed and sent today, because like it doesn't really spoil anything except Leon is fighting commandos now.
Fighting humans.
That was the most funnest section. It would have been so good if the commandos were a part of the Raccoon City, where they get to team up with zombies. Not exactly team up as they work with the zombies. Like, they would show up while the zombies are around as well, which would have made it a very challenging gameplay, because the zombies would be swarming you, as well as the guys with guns trying to kill you. That would have made it more exciting and more challenging. That's the only complaint I have. Otherwise, I really did enjoy most of the stuff. I couldn't really hate on it, and I was able to play on great graphics, so I got to see sweat details, which I never noticed before. Granted, I only noticed it while it was on Grace while she was in a skimpy outfit, but that's a different story.
I'm so going to comment on that in
well,
one second.
Leon perspires.
Yeah. So first of all, I think Resident Evil 9, when you play as Leon, it is just a watered-down experience of what Resident Evil 4 was, with all of the upgrades and the picking up items and stuff. It just wasn't as fleshed out as that. There wasn't as much that you can interact with around the world. There wasn't the same variety of enemies, definitely. Completely agree. Whereas in Resident Evil 4, it was kind of like each new enemy you met was not only like more difficult or something, it was a different puzzle in a sense. You had to work out how the tactics of it. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm going to come on to you and Grace and her skimpy outfit, Cat. Dave, come back on. Dave, come back on. Dave, come back on. Dave,
on.
right,
what do you
come
want?
back on. Now this is
What do you
important.
want?
This is important. this last week have finally played through all of Resident Evil 6. And
I'm gone.
No, come back. I have now worked out why Capelthay, for the last 3 or 4 years, has gone on about this game so much in the world. Right, so Cap just saying, now look, this, I promise you this will not be any real spoiler, okay? But you need to hear it, Dave, as well. Now, there is a character in Resident Evil 9 who's on the box called Grace, and Cap is like, oh, I'm enjoying it, because I can use a mod to put her in skimpy outfits. I shit ye not. Resident Evil 6 is a completely broken game with bad gameplay and is a complete downgrade from 5 and 4 between it. But the whole game is just butt shots of Ada Wong, and there is one point where you see her topless. And I was like, this is a Resident Evil game. And that is why Cap likes that game so much. Mystery solved after 4 years.
But can you blame me, David? But can you blame me for
I was just like, I'm playing it for a week, and I was like, this game is so bad. And then I got to this scene, I was like, oh, now everything makes sense for Capelthay.
Cap, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question, Cap.
Yes.
Did you put Leon in a Speedo, or was it just Grace?
Just Grace. I needed Leon to be cool.
Look, if cool is not about what you're wearing, it's about how you're wearing it. If John Wick was killing people in a Speedo, I don't know. That might be cool. You do
not want current Keanu Reeves in a Speedo. Okay, underneath that suit, there is no abs. Okay, he's completely dad botted up.
It's okay for things to sag, my friend. That's just a part of getting old.
How do you know, Cap?
Right, now, anyway, I'm going to take us... I'll take us in a slight different direction here, because this is something I've just seen come up on Twitter. And this is just something like, guys, you can give me your comments on this. You know, something that's always struck me as weird when I think about it in retrospect from movies is that Arnold Schwarzenegger had a line saying, I'll be back in the first Terminator movie. Mm-hmm. And somehow, especially without any internet back then, it became such a meme, it became such a thing, that they ended up putting it as a line for him in loads of his movies, where it's just, it became not a character catchphrase, it became the actor's catchphrase, right? Now, John Bernthal, who plays Punisher, he was in Walking Dead and a load of movies and that. There's something here where he has revealed, because he is in the Odyssey, it says, John Bernthal reveals he will say, let me tell you something in the Odyssey. And I'm like, what does that mean? And when I've clicked, apparently he says it in everything. How did this happen? Watch this.
He does. Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this. Okay, let me
tell you something, brother.
Okay, well, check this.
I'll tell you something. I tell you what. I gotta tell you something. Hey, listen, asshole. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a few things. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me tell you something. But I can also tell you. Herschel, man, let me ask you something. And I will tell you. Tell you what, girl. Let me ask you this. I gotta tell you. I'll tell you what. Tell you what. Let me tell you something else, man. Shit, I tell you, go on with. But here's what I'll tell you about. Yeah, son, I'll tell you.
We're only halfway through this video. I think it's proven
man,
his
I'll
point.
tell you what. What I will tell you. Man,
every episode he's in.
All right, I'll tell you what. Flex, man, but I'll tell you what. You got something.
Right, how does that happen? How does that happen where, like, either it was a thing where he just says it and he adds it into, he just
don't
like,
we all have a Don't we all have a phrase or something that we always say in conversation? Is something just like that for all of us?
Yeah, yours is butt shots.
I think in here, only I have that phrase, which is, I've already seen it.
Exactly. Yeah, he's already seen. Have you seen Moana, Dev?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. But isn't that weird? Like, how does tell you? Because obviously there was variations. Tell you what, tell you something, whatever, right? How does like one actor end up with this same phrase in everything he's in? And at this point, if this is now on the internet like that, people will be scripting it in. But that's such a bizarre thing.
I think it could have been an ad lib. I think it could have been an ad lib because he said it on his podcast and things like that. So I think the problem is, I think he has a natural way of involving that word in this conversation, like a New Yorker thing for some reason. So he's always telling people something, whether he's not in a movie or when he's in his bathroom or whatever. But because he's doing that in movies as an actor as well, I think he's ad-libbing that in every movie without even realizing it.
I can well believe it, because it might just be that he's got his line, and to get into it. So if his line is like, you know, they're going to invade tomorrow, it could just be as he does it. I'll tell you something, they're going to invade tomorrow. And it's just like, it's wound up in everything he's ever done by
and
the
he's
looks of that
always
clip.
playing this same tough urban New Yorker character in most of his stuff anyway, so a mobster. So it's kind of easy not to get away from this. Like, if you suddenly start doing an English accent, maybe like, let me tell you something.
Is he a New Yorker? I don't think he's from New York.
He's a New Yorker, right? But
no, he's from the South.
He's from the South?
I think
yeah,
so.
let me tell you something.
I'll tell you what.
He's not Northeast United States, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
Yeah,
Why does he sound like that he's from the Bronx?
I think I'd be looking mostly for him rubbing his head. You know, he does a lot of rubbing his head as well.
He does. This is such a thing. Do you remember in The Walking Dead? Oh, he's Shane in The Walking Dead, wasn't he?
Yeah, Shane.
Where there's that whole scene where he shaves his head, and then he's just sort of like rubbing his head like the whole time.
He does it before that as well. In like the first season, when he's walking away or something, he's just like, "Oh, I'm walking away." Just rubs the back of his head like he's caressing a cat.
Wow.
He's from Washington D.C., which is considered the Northeast, but it's like mid-Atlantic and can have some stronger Southern characteristics than like from Boston or New York.
Wait, what? He's from Washington. So, okay, Tim, you can help me on this. Like, Washington D.C. isn't technically in any state, is it?
It's not a state; it's a district.
A district,
but it is the capital of the United States, and it's very like it's considered sort of a. This is going to be a poor interpretation of it, but it's considered like sort of a midpoint between North and South United States.
Sure. That's weird to actually. So, you're interviewing him. What state are you from? I'm not. That's got
He's from Maryland. Maryland would be the state.
Okay.
Maryland is a highly. It's the Chesapeake Bay is majority of Maryland. It is got some land mass, but it's a. There's a lot of like interesting dynamics in Maryland compared to like a more solid state with less.
I always thought Washington was the state.
No, there is a state called Washington. But Washington
there
D.C.
is a state called Washington. It's the opposite end of the United States. It's right above north, like it's above Oregon, which is above California. Washington D.C. is on the eastern side of the United States.
So is Virginia close to D.C. then?
Virginia is probably neighbors D.C. There's a place called Alexandria where there's a majority of like a lot of like federal workers live there, and some agencies are headquartered around Alexandria. But it's considered the same metro area, and there's like what's called I forget what kind of belts, but like a train belt where like a lot of the eastern wealth lies along the train tracks that run from New York City to Washington D.C.
Wow.
Really I think John Bernthal wasn't in the more affluent areas though. He's got a sense of like being a little bit more rough and tumble.
Yeah, he does, definitely.
Yeah.
And he plays those characters so look, when you start getting cast those characters, you know, he goes from The Walking Dead to Punisher and whatever else in between, some like gangster or Scorsese movies, I'm sure, along the way.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, guys, who else got anything on their mind? Tell me things.
Actually, I want to go back into that, like why like stuff like I'll Be Back and stuff became popular. Because I studied like movie quotes and stuff because of my fascination with the 1994 Street Fighter movie. So basically, with the I'll Be Back, it was a sentence that was memorable, said in a funny accent, that could be used in a normal conversation. So all the moviegoers that went to see it started saying "I'll be back" in the way that the Terminator said it. So that's why it became a meme.
Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the first memes in like modern entertainment history.
Yeah.
And then what happens right after? There's a period of silence, and he parks his car inside the police department. I'm gonna,
My favorite one is in Expendables where Arnold's like, "I am out. I'll be back," and then Bruce Willis goes, "You've been back enough."
Do you know what though?
Backed enough.
Something I found so funny. I've shown this, I think, on the show before. When there was the computer, the Commodore 64, it was released with a game of Terminator 2, and following on from the Terminator, where he famously said, "I'll be back," the idiots who designed this box with where the game came with it put Terminator 2, "I've returned," instead of just writing "I'm back." What an idiot. Like, who would do that?
Oh, wow.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day, "I've returned." Like,
No.
Who? Yeah.
Fonzie.
Okay, what does he say that in other than Happy Days?
A lot of cameos he makes.
Oh, I bet.
That's a cameo. That's a cameo. Though. That's him playing himself.
Weird Al, I guess.
How you doing?
But does he say that in anything other than as himself?
Because he's not been in anything other than Friends. So
he was in
Lost
in Space, but he didn't say it in that.
He hosts Top Gear.
Yeah, okay, but he's himself, isn't he? Carry On at Your Convenience, Carry On Up the Jungle, Carry On Henry, and it was about Henry VIII. So it was always the same core actors. You'd have some variation, but they'd always be playing different characters. And across those films, the main core actors of it had loads of catchphrases, etc. He would say, "Oh, hello," right, in a different way. And another one had, "Well, I only asked." And there was loads of them. So I think it's like more of an old school thing. Definitely it happened in British things, because there was also the trend in British sitcoms and British movies. And like Will Smith did this, like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, by playing a character called Will Smith. But loads of actors, you have the actor Sid James in Bless This House playing a character called Sid Abbott. Or, you'd have, loads of his characters were called Sid and stuff like this. And you'd have that, and none of this ever happens anymore. It's perhaps just different times. So it's really cool to see that John Brenthal somehow has got a catchphrase that emerged across multiple franchises, including Homer's The Odyssey.
It does still happen, and only one actor does it, and he gets in trouble for doing it all the time.
Who?
The Rock.
What?
Character.
Yeah, he always plays The Rock, but when does he get his catchphrases into?
Can you smell what the...
If you smell what Maui is cooking.
He does the eyebrow thing in every movie.
Yeah, but that's just his eyebrow. Can we all do the people's eyebrow? Okay, Dave can do it. Can anyone else? Tim, you got it somewhat. You got it somewhat. Okay, Cap, you look like you're constipated. I tell you what, I couldn't do it. I spent the entire summer of 1999 like this in front of a mirror until I could raise one eyebrow. I was like, I've got to do this.
I tried to do the Undertaker thing, but then my mom was like, "Stop doing that. Your eyes
putting your eyes back." Can you do it?
Yeah. No, my mom stopped me from doing it.
It's when you started using a spoon.
Without doing that, without holding your eyelid open, or
I can do the Triple H thing, but that's not a big thing. You just
what's the Triple H thing? Sleeping with the boss's daughter. Yeah,
the foggy water.
Oh, you can spray the water.
Yeah. The fog.
Hey guys, I gotta get going.
Okay, Tim, pleasure as always.
Love y'all. Good to see you guys.
I'm currently playing the Bond game, Note 7 First Light.
First Light.
Yeah. Bit of a warning of, I'm not sure if they fixed the issue right now, but I gotta say, if you go on full screen, the game crashes. It doesn't matter what graphics card or what quality you have in.
How
the game crashes.
On PS5?
I'm not playing on PC, Dev.
Okay, but is the game good? Because it got really good reviews.
Well, this is my first Bond game. I've not played any other Bond game. It plays like a Hitman game, except it's got more of a charismatic character.
It's Hitman and Uncharted put together into one game.
I'm not gonna lie. Is the weird thing is again I felt like this should be more like an Assassin's Creed game, which is not. Where the exploration of this game is very low. I mean, you can explore, but it's nothing meaningful there. So it is a bit But in terms of cast, character, story-wise, so far, I like it. I don't have that much of a big complaint about it. But still, yeah, I wish it's more actiony. I wanted it to be more actiony and more Bond awesome.
Okay, can I ask a question though? What is Patrick Gibson like as James Bond, and has he made a case for himself actually being cast as the character in the movies?
I think he's pretty for a young Bond. He's pretty good. Like, this is an origin story, so as
he is
a young
31
Bond,
years old.
It's weird because so do you remember in the live action Uncharted when Tom Holland
live action what?
Uncharted.
Oh, Uncharted, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Holland was young. Whatever his name is,
Nathan
Drake.
Yeah.
Like they tried to do that, but the actor is too old to be a young Bond.
I don't think I could go all the way around. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's like he's too old to be young Bond, and young Bond is a concept.
Why does he have to be young Bond? We've literally Daniel Craig went back to showing him before he was a 007, didn't it?
No, this is like his recruitment to MI6 basically. So you get like trainings and all that stuff.
Okay, so right, how old was every Bond when they took over as Bond? At 31, I don't think there is any reason, if he is a good actor, why they can't cast Patrick Gibson as James Bond in the movies.
I don't see anything wrong with them, really. So, but again, the fact is, the story so far is young Bond.
Well, that's the whole premise of the game, anyway. In that it is, it's kind of his first mission. Like he's not a seasoned agent.
What the fuck?
What?
So the youngest Bond is, for some reason, George Lazenby.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. The one and done Bond. Okay, how old was he? 30. 29. So it's 30. See what I mean? And look at that. Sean Connery was 32 in Doctor No, which is absolutely insane. He looks legit 45. Roger Moore was 45. Dalton 41. Brosnan 42. Brosnan? Daniel Craig was 38. So I think.
What about Pierce? What was Pierce Brosnan?
42.
Damn, he looked like that at 42. Damn.
I'll tell you something though. George Lazenby, I found out yesterday, had actually played Jor-El in Superboy. Did you know this?
Did you really?
Yeah. I'll bring it up, George, because I've been watching Smallville, and Terrence Stamp is the voice of Jor-El. You never see him, but then they do an episode where like a younger Jor-El comes to Earth, and it's played by the actor Julian Sands, which I don't know what to say he was in. I know he was in 24. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But he died a couple of years ago, and it was quite tragic circumstances where he was like mountaineering, and he went missing for like 6 months before they found him. So it was very sad. And he was a pretty good Jor-El, except for I said he doesn't have the level of gravitas as Marlon Brando or Russell Crowe. And I was like, so, and then Rocket Raccoon as Jor-El.
Hold on. Russell Crowe and gravitas.
Yeah, as Jor-El.
He does have gravitas.
Yeah.
And not in Les Mis.
He was Gladiator. He was Gladiator for fuck's sake.
Russell Crowe.
Radius.
his only aspect before he started doing like shitty Thor movies was gravitas. So when he's standing there as Jor-El, like that movie is fantastic when it's Jor-El as the central character. And then as soon as it's Henry Cavill takes over and they kill off Jonathan Kent, it just dive bombs.
The problem with the whole, again, we don't want to go into Man of Steel thing, but like the only problem Man of Steel had that they never fleshed out Superman as a person. That was the biggest problem on that one because he was not a proactive protagonist. But never mind that. Okay, I have a question for you, David. So specifically about Smallville.
Yeah.
So I've not watched Smallville. I know of it, some clips and things like that. But I have a friend whose introduction to Superman was Smallville.
Yeah.
And she absolutely hates Superman because of it. She says like he's arrogant, he's kind of an asshole.
No,
Brandon Routh. He is Smallville is more of a love letter to the old Superman movies than the Brandon Routh movie, which was a direct sequel to it. Go on, Dev. You can say.
I wouldn't agree because Smallville was there.
Martha Kent is played by Annette O'Toole, who was the original Lana Lang. Superman's mother is played by the actress who played Helen Slater, who played Supergirl. At one point they have the original Superman the movie. So there is so much of a love letter to the original films in there. Clark is very much in the mold. Now, obviously, there's stuff because you do 10 years worth of storytelling, but he is the authoritative, calm, kind-natured Clark. Characters are too old, and they have to introduce Lois Lane, and they get them working at the Daily Planet, and it's like, why aren't you Superman yet? And instead they come up with a storyline where he just wears a black suit with a black trench to wear the Superman costume.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Adam West's Batman outfit, while it didn't look the greatest, he still fucking wore a batsuit.
No, Adam West is a legend. Adam West's Batman is amazing.
I mean, Brandon Routh still wears trunks, and he looks pretty good. His suit doesn't look that campy.
Who cares if it does? You're Superman.
So... Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, look, here's George Lazenby
as the man.
Look, there is George Lazenby looking like.
Sorry, not George Lazenby.
Oh, 1 second. Let's see if this messes it up. Right. Let me see if I can try. I'm looking for it. I'm looking. I'm not finding. What?
It's in the Geek Battle thing.
Right. I'll have to. I can't easily bring that up. It's not even displaying. I can't bring it up. Can you get me a link to it on here?
Yeah, I can try. But
yeah, it's not displaying on my screen.
Also, just a little nod back to Spider-Verse. So I've been watching Batman Beyond again, and the funniest thing is the people who did Spider-Verse, they actually wanted to do Batman Beyond. They went to Warner Brothers with that animation, and they said, let's make Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond. Those assholes said no. So they went to Marvel, and they made Spider-Man. I was like, I mean, Batman does well, really, but I'm kind of bored of Batman because I've seen Batman, so I was like, if you give me Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond, my brain would explode because, I love that show.
Okay, so there's a scene in Titans where Dick talks to Bruce, who's way too fucking old in that show. Yeah. And it looks like it would be perfect casting for Terry and Bruce.
Oh, hang on.
You know what could have been better, Dev?
1 second.
The guy who played Blue Beetle, would have been awesome as Terry in the Blue Beetle movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the image you want to see?
Yes.
Okay.
They're both 34 years old.
In that picture.
The guy on the right, wasn't he in an episode of Doctor Who? Like the Scarecrow episode?
He was in Nature.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the schoolboys.
Yeah.
And he was in Nanny McPhee, and he was in I think he was in another British film and TV show as well. He's in The Artful Dodger as well.
Okay, so what has just happened to society, basically? Like, why do we no longer have adults that or the people that grow into?
Okay, so
because we have better stuff.
Chemicals were removed from food, and kids don't smoke or drink anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think it's better
to
be permanently 12?
I fundamentally debunk
Dave,
that.
you live in France. 5-year-olds.
No. I came to the UK last year.
Take that cigarette, baby. So life is shit. Take on it.
I fundamentally debunk that fact that young people don't drink anymore.
5-year-olds smoke in France, Dave.
I mean, among my friends,
French, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the French.
I mean,
shit, man, you're gonna get mobbed. This clip's gonna get out there, and it'll be just like, oh, you do not like her. Right?
I would have to say, among my friends, I know only like three people my age who actually drink, but they don't even do it that much.
Yeah, like I don't know anyone that like smokes and drinks anymore. They all do drugs.
Wow. Well, that's not good. I know loads of people that smoke and drink.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, the fact that you're going, oh, they don't drink and smoke anymore. I go, handbrake on that one. Here's a long list of people that I know.
I mean, Dave literally lives in a tavern. Dave literally lives in a tavern.
No, it's no under 100, over 100s or under 100s here.
Right, guys, let's begin to wrap this up. Unless anyone's got anything late breaking news that we haven't covered.
The new X-Men season 2 animated came out. It's kind of boring so far, but we'll see.
You know what? Like, what I like is every episode has its own opening, right? Because it basically tells you what characters are in the episode. So you know how in the X-Men original opening, like basically like the same opening for everyone. Like you showed like Wolverine in the forest, Storm, Gambit with all the names, right?
Yes.
In the 97 show, the characters they show depend on who's in the episode.
Okay. I'm interested to see. I'm waiting until it's all sort of ready to sort of binge it. But I'm waiting to see how they get the adamantium back in Wolverine.
Rectally.
Pretty much.
Bend over.
Like, you know the pump they had in X-Men 2? Like they just bend them over and then
the funny thing is, so I know X-Men 97, but because I caught the reruns in the 2000s, but my favorite is still X-Men Evolution. Like I have to wait another decade for them to do remake X-Men Evolution.
Poor fool. You poor fool.
I want high school cool stuff, Dave. I like Kitty in that one.
You poor unfortunate soul.
Wolverine and the X-Men was they fucking ended that with like season 1 when it's actually they revealed Apocalypse going to be season 2 and they stopped it. So yeah. That was also fun. I saw 97, Dave. It's not like I didn't see 97. I saw 97. So I prefer the Evolution.
Well, anyway, on that note, let's find out where we can find everyone on social media, starting with Capelthave.
You can find me on SWAT Deeds. I should really write that down on my name. Where I sing and dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And you can go and watch me ranting about Supergirl and then Toy Story 5, and then recommend it, which I didn't get to talk about here. But there was an awesome movie called Sheep Detectives that Hugh Jackman, and it was a really fun. Like if you miss movies like Dr. Dolittle, the 90s and early 2000s live-action good animal movies, go watch Sheep Detective. It's really actually good.
Yeah, I can't see
wholesome,
that.
Happy adventure. Yeah, and you can also find me here on numerous shows.
Okay, Dave.
You can find me here on Xstreamed on various shows, and check out my YouTube and Twitch channels. The Yellow Duck Tavern is written down below. It's at Yellow Duck Tavern. You could see me playing Let's Plays and live streams of various adventures. One was with Kat last week, where we trapped him in a house. It was really, really funny.
Amazing Grace.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still surprised that you thought you didn't know that I knew that. But yeah, so check out any of the stuff I've done on the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays with stuff like Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 on Saturday. So please come and check me out.
Yes, Dave got Assassin's Creed 3 again. Yay!
Wait, Dave, have you undergone a rebranding?
I have undergone a rebranding.
I didn't realise that.
Look behind me.
No, I know, but I didn't know it was literally that you
opened a bar.
I didn't know that you'd updated the channel name.
Yeah,
right.
It's a whole rebrand. I've gone through the whole thing of the Yellow Duck Tavern now.
Okay.
Look at this! Look at this wonderful bar. Look at the pictures of all my characters.
Yeah, no, it's good. Dev.
You're from me on Disney Plus watching Morbius and Eternals and Craven.
Wait, Morbius, Eternals, and what?
Craven.
I thought you said Kramer. I was like, what's Kramer versus Kramer? Right. Okay. Now. My name is David Pisansky. Find me at, Slam Jam apparently today. But follow me at David Pisansky on everything, at Geek Battle at everything. Over the last week, I have been filming content for over 300 videos of a geeky nature, which will be coming out in due course because it's going to require a lot of editing. But hopefully I'll start to get the first batch of them out within the next couple of weeks. You'll see. There's some fun things. Right, so anyway, with that, until next time, stay safe. Always stay extreme. Live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Nanu, nanu. And we are off the air.